Hello. Today we're going to look at medians and centroids just a little bit more closely. If I made a quick triangle here and I drew some medians, the thing we have to know about the median is, well, the thing we already know is that it cuts the opposite side in half. Another thing that we know is that each triangle will be uh, have equal area. So that means that this is the center of mass or center of gravity. So you can balance the whole triangle on that one point. All right. Uh, Another thing we know about medians and centroids is we can find the equation for the centroid just with the 3 points. So if we find an equation of a median from A to BC, that's A, B, and C. Um, let's, oh, sorry, that's in the wrong order. That's B, and this is C. Um, First, we need to find the midpoint of the opposite side. So to find that midpoint, it's the midpoint of B and C. So you add the x's, 7 plus 3, we'll call this m, is 10 divided by 2 is 5. 1 plus negative 3 is negative 2. Divided by 2, that's 1. Negative 1. So now we have this point, which is 5, negative 1. We have A, which is the point 1, 3. So now we have to find the equation of this line. So it looks like from 3 to 1, we go down 4. From 1 to 5, we go over 4. So the slope is down 4 over 4, which is a slope of negative 1. That's nice. So now if we want to write the equation for the line, we could use either point. I like this one because it doesn't have any negatives. So I'll say y minus 3 equals negative 1, x minus 1. And that's one line. Now, if I want to find this equation, the equation for that point right there, what I need to do is find the equation here. I'm going to use a different color just to hopefully make it more clear. I'm going to call this point N, and N is going to be the midpoint of A and B. So if I look at A and B, if I look at the 1 and 7, that's 8 divided by 2, which is 4. 3 plus 1 is 4, divided by 2, and I get to 2. And that looks like 4, 2, so that looks like a reasonable guess. And now if I look at the slope, I'm going up, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1. So 5 over 1, that's 5. So I'll just use these 2 points. Y minus 2 equals 5, x minus 4. And now we have these 2 points to do substitution. So I'm just going to draw a blue line and do substitution with those 2 points. Or you could use uh, elimination or whatever you prefer. Um, Before I do that, I like to get one of these in a y equals form. So I'm going to multiply the 5 over the parentheses. So I have 5x minus 20. Now I just have to add 2 to both sides. So y is equal to 5x negative 20 plus 2 is minus 18. Now I'm going to take this guy and move it down here, but instead of y, I'm going to put in 5x minus 18. So I'm going to say 5x minus 18 is equal to minus 3, because now we're going back to this equation, negative 1 x minus 1. So now we just have to do algebra to figure out what this x is. 5x minus 21 is equal to negative x plus 1. I'm going to add 1x to this side and add 22. And now I divide both sides, and 22 divided by 6, that's going to be 3 and 4/6, which is 3 and 2/3. So now that I know my y, I can find my x. You can plug it in this equation or this one. Um, whatever would be the easiest. I would do 5 times 3 and 2/3 minus 18. That's not super easy. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 2/3 is 10/3. So 15, that's 18 and a third minus 18. So that gets our y value to be 1/3. So our centroid is at the point 3 and 2/3, 1/3. And now it's good to check 3 and 2/3 up 1/3. That seems like a reasonable guess. All right, now let's look at a much easier problem. If FD is 4 and EF is 6, EC is that full length. That's going to be 6 times 2 is this length here because that's a centroid. And so that whole length is going to be 18. Now the next line, if I look at BF, that's even easier. If this is 4, BF just has to be 8, and we are done. All right, those are some problems with centroids. Good luck.